Hello, and a very warm welcome to each and every one of you joining me on VitaPrime Health. I'm Dr. Victoria Langford, a physician and researcher from Cambridge, and it's truly a privilege to connect with you in this space. Today, we're going to lean into a conversation that, for many men, holds a quiet anxiety, a subtle vulnerability: the health of your prostate. It's a topic often discussed in hushed tones, perhaps with a touch of embarrassment, but it's a universal part of aging for men, and there's absolutely no shame in facing it openly. In fact, there's immense power in understanding it. I've sat with countless patients over the years who describe the subtle, then not so subtle, shifts in their urinary patterns as they get older. The nightly interruptions that chip away at restorative sleep, the growing unease about finding a restroom quickly when out and about, the feeling that you're simply not quite emptying your bladder. These are not just inconveniences. They can erode your confidence, impact your social life, and even diminish your sense of self. They are often the familiar hallmarks of benign prostatic hyperplasia, or BPH, a non-cancerous enlargement of the prostate gland that affects a significant majority of men as they journey into their senior years. It's a deeply personal experience, and I want you to know that you are not alone in feeling its effects. But what if I told you there's a powerful, natural secret, a truth often overlooked in our fast-paced medical world, that can offer a genuine sense of relief and support for your prostate? A truth that can empower you to take a proactive step towards reclaiming your comfort and vitality. Today, we're going to gently unveil this truth, cutting through the noise and focusing on the clear, evidence-based insights that can make a real difference in your life. We're going to talk about a fruit, a truly remarkable fruit that has quietly held a place of honor in human history and is now, perhaps more than ever, deserving of its spotlight in modern health discussions. The fruit I'm speaking of, my dear friends, is the pomegranate. Yes, the beautiful, jewel-toned pomegranate. For centuries, it has captivated cultures with its striking appearance and its deep symbolic meaning, often associated with life, abundance, fertility, and regeneration. But beyond its ancient allure, modern science is increasingly uncovering the profound, tangible ways this fruit can contribute to our well-being, particularly when it comes to the often sensitive realm of prostate health. It's a story of nature's wisdom, patiently waiting for us to truly listen. So how does this ancient fruit with its vibrant arils potentially help shrink your prostate, and why isn't this information as widely celebrated as it perhaps should be? Let's take a calm, clear look at the science, but through the lens of how it impacts your life, your comfort, and your peace of mind. The prostate gland, nestled just beneath the bladder, can begin to grow excessively as men age. This enlargement, BPH, is influenced by a complex interplay of hormonal changes, particularly shifts in testosterone metabolism alongside chronic low-grade inflammation within the gland itself. It's a natural process, but one that can cause very unnatural and uncomfortable symptoms. The pomegranate, however, steps onto this stage like a gentle yet formidable warrior. It's an extraordinary source of bioactive compounds, most notably a group called L-argitannins, like punicalagins, and a rich abundance of powerful antioxidants such as anthocyanins. These are the unsung heroes locked within the pomegranate, waiting to offer their therapeutic embrace. The scientific community has, with increasing curiosity, turned its attention to the pomegranate's potential in prostate health. One of the most significant and often cited pieces of research that really opened our eyes to its potential came from a pioneering Phase 2 clinical trial led by Dr. Alan Pantuck and his dedicated team at UCLA. Published in the esteemed Clinical Cancer Research Journal in 2006. This study looked at men who had already been treated for prostate cancer but were experiencing a rising PSA, a common and often distressing indicator of potential recurrence or progression. The researchers had these men consume a modest 8-ounce glass of pure pomegranate juice daily. What they observed was truly remarkable. For many participants, the PSA doubling time, the rate at which their PSA levels were increasing, nearly tripled. It went from an average of 15 months to a much more reassuring 45 months. Imagine the emotional weight lifted, the sense of hope rekindled by such a deceleration. This wasn't a cure, no, but it suggested a powerful ability to slow down the progression of abnormal cell growth, Now, while Dr. Pantuk's work primarily focused on prostate cancer patients, the underlying mechanisms that pomegranate appears to influence are incredibly relevant to BPH as well. BPH, at its core, involves an overgrowth of prostate cells. Pomegranate's compounds are believed to gently, yet effectively, interfere with the cellular signaling pathways that promote this uncontrolled growth. They seem to whisper to these cells, encouraging them to rest or even to undergo apoptosis, a natural, healthy process of programmed cell death that removes old or unnecessary cells, much like pruning a garden. This subtle guidance can contribute to a reduction in prostate volume over time. Beyond slowing cell proliferation, another key pathway through which pomegranate exerts its influence is its profound anti-inflammatory action. We're learning more and more about the role of chronic, low-grade inflammation in the development and progression of both BPH and prostate cancer. Think of your prostate as a delicate ecosystem. Persistent inflammation creates a turbulent, unhealthy environment where cells are more prone to abnormal changes. Pomegranate, with its abundance of potent antioxidants and anti-inflammatory compounds like punicalagins, acts like a soothing balm, reducing inflammatory markers throughout the body and specifically within the prostate. By calming this internal storm, pomegranate helps to restore a healthier, more balanced environment for your prostate cells, potentially preventing or slowing down that troublesome enlargement. It's about nurturing your body from within. Further investigations, including numerous in vitro, test tube, and in vivo animal studies, have continued to unravel these intricate mechanisms. For example, research published in the Journal of Medicinal Food has indicated that pomegranate extracts can gently modulate the activity of enzymes involved in testosterone metabolism, which, as we know, plays a role in prostate growth. It also appears to subtly influence androgen receptors, the cellular locks that male hormones unlock to stimulate prostate cell growth. By influencing these delicate pathways, pomegranate offers a multifaceted approach to discouraging prostatic enlargement. It's not a single forceful blow, but a symphony of subtle, beneficial actions. And here's where the authenticity truly shines. The pomegranate isn't a fleeting trend. Its story is woven into the very fabric of human civilization. It has been cultivated for over 5,000 years, with its origins stretching across Persia, modern-day Iran, and extending throughout the Mediterranean, the Middle East, and Asia. In ancient Egypt, it was often placed in tombs, a symbol of life after death. In Greek mythology, it was linked to fertility and abundance. But most profoundly, in traditional medicine systems like Ayurveda in India and Unani medicine, prevalent in the Middle East, pomegranate, in various forms, the fruit, the juice, even the rind and bark, was prescribed for a vast array of ailments, from digestive complaints to skin conditions, and crucially, as a general tonic for vitality, which implicitly included supporting urinary flow and male well-being even before the specific understanding of the prostate as we know it today. This enduring legacy across diverse cultures, spanning millennia, isn't merely coincidental. It speaks to an intuitive understanding of its restorative powers, a wisdom that modern science is now patiently affirming. It's a beautiful reminder that sometimes the answers we seek have been quietly present in nature all along. Now, I want to share some deeply personal stories, anecdotes from men who, like many of you, navigated the challenges of prostate health and found solace and tangible improvement with the consistent inclusion of pomegranate. These are not clinical trials, but rather echoes of lived experiences, offering a glimpse into the human side of this journey. Always, always remember to consult your healthcare provider before making any significant changes to your diet or health regimen. Their guidance is invaluable. Arthur, 65, a gentle soul and retired librarian from Norwich, first came to me with a quiet despair in his eyes. He spoke of his nights, broken by what felt like an endless procession to the bathroom, 4, 5, even 6 times. The exhaustion was profound, leaching the joy from his days. He loved reading late into the night, but his bladder simply wouldn't allow it. After exploring conventional options with his urologist, he was open to supportive natural approaches. We discussed incorporating a daily glass of pure, unsweetened pomegranate juice. It wasn't an overnight miracle, but after about 4 months, Arthur called me, his voice trembling slightly with emotion. "Dr. Langford," he said, "I slept for 5 hours straight last night. 5 hours. I can't tell you what that means to me." He wasn't cured, but his nightly trips had reduced to 1 or 2, and his overall flow was stronger. He had rediscovered a simple yet profound dignity in his sleep and his daily life. Then there was Bernard, 70, a charmingly pragmatic former engineer from the Scottish Highlands. Bernard was naturally skeptical of anything outside of traditional medicine, but his BPH symptoms were making his beloved hiking trips increasingly difficult. The worry of finding a remote bush to relieve himself was diminishing his pleasure in nature. He agreed to try a high-quality pomegranate extract, viewing it as a trial rather than a belief. For months he'd report back with his usual stoicism, but then, one crisp autumn day, he sent me an email, shorter than usual. "Hiked Ben Nevis, only 2 stops." It was his quiet acknowledgement of a tangible improvement, a vulnerability in admitting that this natural approach had, indeed, made a difference. It wasn't about believing in magic, it was about the measurable, felt difference in his body and his freedom. And consider Charles, 68, a compassionate family man from Kent who lived with a quiet anxiety stemming from his father's challenging journey with prostate cancer. While Charles's own issues were BPH, the shadow of his father's illness made him intensely proactive. He was always seeking ways to support his health naturally, driven by a deep love for his family and a desire to be vibrant for his grandchildren. We discussed adding fresh pomegranate arils to his diet daily. He started blending them into his morning smoothie, sometimes simply enjoying a bowl with a sprinkle of walnuts. Charles didn't experience a dramatic sudden shift, but gradually, over many months, he noticed his stream was more robust, his urgency less pressing. What was most profound, however, was the emotional shift. "I feel like I'm doing something positive," he shared. "It's not just waiting for things to go wrong, it gives me a sense of agency, a quiet peace of mind." Finally, Daniel, 72, a vibrant musician from Liverpool, had found himself reluctantly withdrawing from his beloved jazz club nights. The constant anxiety about restroom availability had become too much. He loved meeting friends, soaking in the music, but his bladder dictated his evenings. When he started diligently consuming pure pomegranate juice, it was born out of a desperate hope to reclaim his social life. After a few months, he tentatively went back to his favorite club. He recounted, with tears in his eyes, how he made it through the entire first set without a single trip to the men's room. It was a small victory, yes, but for Daniel, it was a lifeline. It wasn't just physical relief. It was the return of his joy, his sense of connection, his very identity as a social, music-loving man. These are the quiet triumphs that often go unremarked in the broad sweep of medical discourse. They underscore that while science provides the bedrock, the true impact of these natural interventions is deeply personal and profoundly human. Now, as with any topic that gains widespread attention, especially one touching on health, myths and misconceptions tend to proliferate. It's my heartfelt intention to dispel these, not to diminish hope, but to empower you with clarity and accurate understanding. Myth number 1. Pomegranate is a miracle cure for BPH or prostate cancer, and you can stop your medications. Truth. This is perhaps the most dangerous misconception. Pomegranate is a powerful supportive tool, a valuable ally in your health journey, but it is not a cure for BPH or prostate cancer, nor is it a substitute for prescribed medical treatments. I cannot emphasize this enough. If you are on medication, or if you have a diagnosis of a prostate condition, you must continue to follow your doctor's advice. Pomegranate works best as part of a comprehensive, holistic strategy that includes conventional medical care, a balanced diet, regular physical activity, and stress management. It's about working with your body and your medical team, not replacing them. Myth number 2. You need to consume vast quantities of pomegranate or expensive, highly concentrated supplements to see any benefit. Truth. While clinical studies often use standardized doses of juice or extract, the The beauty of pomegranate is that even moderate, consistent consumption of the whole fruit or pure juice can contribute to your health. Nature often works through gentle, consistent nudges rather than sudden, overwhelming forces. Quality over quantity and consistency over sporadic large doses are generally more effective principles when integrating natural foods for health benefits. Myth number 3. All types of pomegranate products offer the same benefits. Truth: unfortunately, this is not the case. Many commercially available pomegranate juices are diluted, mixed with other cheaper fruit juices, and often laden with added sugars. These added sugars counteract many of the health benefits. To maximize the therapeutic potential, always seek out 100% pure, unsweetened pomegranate juice, ideally not from concentrate. If opting for supplements, research reputable brands that provide third-party testing for purity and potency and specify the concentration of active compounds like L-argitannins. Reading labels carefully is an act of self-care. Myth number 4. Pomegranate is completely safe and has no interactions with any medications. Truth: while pomegranate is generally very safe for most people when consumed in dietary amounts, it's not entirely free of potential interactions, particularly with certain medications. Pomegranate, like grapefruit, can inhibit specific liver enzymes, like CYP3A4, that are responsible for metabolizing a wide range of drugs, including some cholesterol-lowering statins, certain blood pressure medications, especially ACE inhibitors, blood thinners, like warfarin, and even some antidepressants. This interaction can lead to higher than intended levels of these medications in your bloodstream, potentially increasing side effects. This is why the conversation with your doctor or pharmacist about all your current medications, including over-the-counter drugs and supplements, is non-negotiable before significantly increasing your pomegranate intake. Your well-being is our top priority, and informed decisions are safe decisions. Myth number 5. Pomegranate is only for addressing existing prostate problems. It has no preventative value. Truth: quite the contrary. The antioxidant and anti-inflammatory properties of pomegranate are incredibly valuable for preventing cellular damage and creating a healthier cellular environment in the prostate long before any significant problems arise. Incorporating pomegranate into a healthy lifestyle is an excellent proactive strategy, not just a reactive one. Think of it as investing in your long-term prostate resilience. So, with these myths addressed, how can you lovingly and practically weave the magic of pomegranate into your daily life? It's truly simpler and more delightful than you might imagine. Lifestyle integrations and daily practices embrace the fresh aerols. The vibrant, juicy seeds, aerols, of the pomegranate are a sensory delight and a nutritional powerhouse. They're incredibly versatile. Sprinkle them generously over your morning oatmeal, add a burst of colour and tang to Greek yogurt, or mix them into a fresh fruit salad. They transform a simple green salad into something extraordinary, adding texture and a delightful counterpoint to savoury flavours. Savour pure pomegranate juice. A daily glass of 100% pure, unsweetened pomegranate juice is a wonderful ritual. Look for labels that explicitly state 100% juice, no added sugar, not from concentrate. It's delicious on its own, or you can dilute it with a splash of sparkling water for a refreshing spritzer. If you are monitoring your sugar intake, especially with conditions like diabetes, be mindful of the natural sugars in juice and consider smaller portions or the whole fruit. Explore high-quality extracts. For those times when fresh pomegranates aren't in season, or if you prefer a more concentrated dose, a reputable pomegranate extract supplement can be a valuable addition. When choosing, look for supplements that highlight their standardization to key compounds like L-argitannins, and always ensure they come from a brand committed to transparency and quality testing. Always adhere to the recommended dosage and ideally discuss it with your doctor. Creative culinary adventures. Don't limit pomegranate to just juice or breakfast. Pomegranate molasses, a reduction of pomegranate juice, can add a unique sweet tart note to marinades for poultry or fish, or a drizzle over roasted vegetables. The fresh aerols are also a beautiful garnish for savoury dishes, adding both flavour and elegance. Beyond the specific benefits of pomegranate, remember that your prostate health is inextricably linked to your overall well-being. Incorporating pomegranate works in harmony with a symphony of other gentle, health-affirming practices. Nourish your body with whole foods. Prioritize a diet rich in diverse fruits, vegetables, whole grains, lean proteins, and healthy fats, akin to a Mediterranean eating pattern. Limit highly processed foods, excessive red meat, and unhealthy fats. This approach fosters a less inflammatory environment throughout your body. Embrace movement. Regular, moderate physical activity, whether it's brisk walking, gentle swimming, or gardening, supports healthy circulation, helps maintain a healthy weight, and reduces systemic inflammation, all beneficial for prostate health. Mindful weight management. Maintaining a healthy weight significantly reduces the risk of many chronic conditions, including prostate issues. It's about nourishing your body to its optimal balance. Cultivate calm. Chronic stress can subtly impact your hormonal balance and exacerbate inflammation. Simple practices like deep breathing exercises, mindfulness meditation, spending time in nature, or engaging in hobbies you love can be profoundly restorative. Stay hydrated. Drinking ample pure water throughout the day supports kidney function and helps flush the urinary system. Regular medical checkups. Continue to engage openly with your doctor for routine physicals and prostate screenings, as recommended for your age and personal risk factors. Early discussions and detection are crucial for peace of mind and effective management. To ensure you feel fully equipped with information, let's address some of the most frequently asked questions that I hear in my practice about pomegranate and its role in prostate health. Question 1. What specific compounds in pomegranate are responsible for its prostate benefits? The primary active compounds are elagitannins, particularly punicalagins. When consumed, these are metabolized by gut bacteria into urolithins, like urolithin A, which are believed to be the most bioavailable and active forms responsible for many of pomegranate's prostate protective effects. Other powerful antioxidants like anthocyanins and ellagic acid also contribute significantly. Question 2. How much pomegranate juice or extract should I consume daily to support prostate health? Many clinical studies, particularly those showing positive effects on PSA doubling time, have used 8 ounces, about 240 milliliters, of 100% pure, unsweetened pomegranate juice daily. If using an extract, dosages vary widely depending on the concentration of active compounds. It's best to follow the manufacturer's directions for a reputable product, or, ideally, consult with a healthcare professional to determine an appropriate dose for your specific needs. Consistency is generally more important than high doses. Question 3. Are there any specific times of day I should take pomegranate for maximum benefit? There isn't a specific best time of day universally agreed upon for consuming pomegranate for prostate health. The key is consistency. Some find it refreshing in the morning as part of their breakfast routine, while others prefer it in a smoothie or with a meal. The most important thing is to integrate it in a way that is sustainable and enjoyable for you. Question 4. Can pomegranate help if my BPH symptoms are already severe? For severe BPH symptoms, medical intervention is often necessary and highly effective. Pomegranate is best seen as a supportive therapy that can work alongside conventional treatments. It may help to reduce inflammation and slow further growth, potentially alleviating some symptoms, but it's unlikely to be sufficient on its own for advanced cases. Your doctor can help determine if it's a suitable complementary approach for your specific situation. Question 5. What are the primary side effects of pomegranate consumption? For most individuals, pomegranate consumption is well tolerated. The most common mild side effect, if consumed in very large quantities, can be digestive upset, like diarrhea. Allergic reactions, though rare, are possible. The most important consideration, as we've discussed, are potential interactions with certain prescription medications. Always prioritize transparency with your healthcare team. Question 6. Can pomegranate reduce PSA levels? Pomegranate has been shown in some studies to help slow the rate of PSA increase, i.e., increase PSA doubling time in men with rising PSA levels after prostate cancer treatment. It's less about directly reducing PSA and more about influencing the rate of its change. This is a very important distinction. For general BPH, its primary benefit is more likely through reducing inflammation and cellular proliferation that contribute to prostate enlargement and urinary symptoms, which may indirectly stabilize PSA. Question 7. Is it better to eat the whole pomegranate fruit or drink the juice? Both have benefits. The whole fruit, the arils or seeds with their juicy pulp, provides fiber, which is excellent for digestive health and can help moderate the absorption of natural sugars. The juice, especially 100% pure and unsweetened, provides a concentrated dose of the beneficial polyphenols. If you enjoy the texture and fiber, the whole fruit is fantastic. If you prefer convenience or a more concentrated liquid form, the pure juice is excellent. A balanced approach incorporating both is ideal. Question 8. Are there any foods or supplements that work particularly well with pomegranate for prostate health? Yes, absolutely. Many foods and nutrients work synergistically. For prostate health, consider a diet rich in lycopene, found in cooked tomatoes, watermelon, and pink grapefruit. Omega-3 fatty acids, from fatty fish, salmon, mackerel, flax seeds, chia seeds. Zinc, found in pumpkin seeds, nuts, and oysters. Selenium, found in Brazil nuts, just 1 or 2 a day. Green tea contains catechins, another powerful antioxidant. Cruciferous vegetables, broccoli, cauliflower, Brussels sprouts, kale. These all contribute to a powerful anti-inflammatory and protective dietary strategy for prostate health. Question 9. How long does it typically take to observe benefits from consistently consuming pomegranate? As the anecdotes suggest, changes are rarely immediate. Most studies indicate that consistent daily consumption over several weeks to a few months is often required before noticeable benefits, whether in terms of symptoms or objective markers like PSA doubling time, begin to emerge. Patience and steadfastness are essential when pursuing natural health approaches. Question 10. What should I do if I am diabetic or pre-diabetic and worried about the sugar content in pomegranate juice? This is a very valid concern. While the sugars in pomegranate juice are natural, they still contribute to your overall carbohydrate intake. If you have diabetes or are pre-diabetic, it's crucial to discuss this with your doctor or a registered dietitian. They can help you integrate pomegranate juice into your meal plan in a way that manages your blood sugar. Options include consuming smaller portions, diluting the juice with water, or prioritizing the whole fruit, arils, as the fiber helps to slow sugar absorption. In closing, my dear friends, the journey of health, particularly as we age, is a deeply personal one, filled with unique challenges and opportunities. I hope our time together today has shed a compassionate light on the often unspoken concerns surrounding prostate health and introduced you to the gentle yet profound power of the pomegranate. It's a reminder that sometimes the most potent truths are found in the simple gifts of nature, supported by the growing body of scientific evidence. It's about empowering you to take proactive, informed steps and to nurture your body with the wisdom it deserves. If this conversation resonated with you, if you feel a glimmer of hope or a renewed sense of agency over your health, I gently encourage you to subscribe to VitaPrime Health. Join our community as we continue to explore evidence-based ways to live a more vibrant, healthy life. And if you found this information valuable, please consider sharing it with the men in your life, your fathers, brothers, sons, and friends. A simple share can spark a crucial conversation and make a profound difference in someone's well-being. Let's spread this truth together. Thank you for trusting me with your time and your attention. Until next time, take good care of yourselves and cherish your well-being.